Tim Dillon went all out on Ellen DeGeneres.
It's a rough one now because she was running Abu Ghraib in the back of her show. She's out there dancing with Kristen Bell, and in the back, there's people that are getting up on the rack.
Ellen's fall from the top of the entertainment world was nothing short of stunning. But even after her be kind persona was exposed, she still had the nerve to stage a comeback, framing herself as the victim.
She's actually reportedly complaining about how hard it is for women in America with the double standards.
Look at Oprah, how hard it is for her.
Oh, she's got, like 10 houses, Ellen DeGeneres?
Michelle Obama, look how hard it is for women in America. They're hurting.
And today, we're covering it all. So buckle up because you're in for a treat.
Ellen's rough.
Ellen is like an old.
But it's a rough one now.
It's a rough one now because she was running Abu Ghraib in the back of her show. That's a rough one. She's out there dancing with Kristen Bell, and in the back, there's people that are getting up on the rack like this.
It's so weird when you see, like, a lot of people saying that someone who seems so nice is not nice at all.
She doesn't seem nice, but that's people have a very poor judge of character. She doesn't seem nice. It seems forced. People that are like that all the time, she doesn't seem nice. It's very forced. And whatever, you're allowed to be a bitch, right? You're allowed to be a bitch. You're allowed to be nasty to people. You're accomplished. You're a comedian. You did the whole thing. What you're not allowed to do is have a Guantanamo Bay situation in the backstage of your show where everybody's walking around afraid for their life, and it's like Abu Ghraib where they're hooked up to wires and they
dogs
have like
around them.
Yeah, she's got dogs and hoods. If an intern's late, they have a hood on. I don't support that.
What makes Ellen's story so wild is how long it went unchecked. For over 15 years, she hosted one of the most popular daytime shows on television, racking up thousands of episodes and building a brand centered around kindness. But behind that polished image was a very different reality, one that few were willing to speak out about until it all came crashing down. While most headlines focused on the toxic work environment, once you dig deeper, it's clear that it was far worse than just a few mean bosses. Allegations surfaced against senior producers involving racism, inappropriate touching, and a management style based on fear and intimidation. And when we talk about the host herself, that's where the real problem begins.
Her show got canceled after she had this testy exchange with Dakota Johnson, where something happened where Dakota said, oh, I had this birthday party. And Ellen said, well, why didn't you invite me? You didn't invite me. And she said, like, no, I did invite you, Ellen. That's not what happened. And Ellen had blown her off and then tried to play the victim on the set with her. Anyway, it led to article after article of people being like, Ellen's a bitch. Ellen is a nasty person. And all these staffers started to come out, not for nothing, but I know a guy, I know him very well, whose sister worked for her, who said you were not allowed to make eye contact with Ellen in the halls of that show. If you saw her, this is not a nice person.
For someone whose motto was be kind, Ellen has had a wave of people come forward with stories that paint a very different picture. It all started with a single tweet in March 2020 by Kevin Porter, who described her as one of the meanest people alive, and asked his followers to share their own insane encounters with her. What came next felt like a group therapy session, where hundreds of people chimed in with their own experiences. One person wrote, I worked at a restaurant, served her and Portia at brunch. He wrote a letter to the owner and complained about my chipped nail polish. Not that it was on her plate, but just that it was on my hand, which almost got me fired. Another one added, was working on a show at Warner Brothers that was next to her stage. It was our showrunner's 50th birthday. Caterer grilling steaks outside for a special fancy lunch. Ellen sent someone over to demand they stop as she doesn't eat meat. Worse, she allegedly policed her crew's lunch orders and nobody could eat fish. More recently, Adam Carolla revealed that, before appearing as a guest, he was asked by a producer to avoid talking about meat or beef or anything like that because Ellen was uncomfortable, adding, I was like, oh, this guy's scared to death. There were also reports that Ellen refused to speak directly with staff and that some employees were even instructed not to make eye contact with her. Despite all this, DeGeneres still attempted a comeback, but Megyn Kelly wasn't about to let that slide.
But now she's coming back. She's got a Netflix special. That's the right response.
Yeah.
She's got a Netflix special. And here's the capper. On the promo, and apparently there's now articles out about from people who have seen the preview, she plays the victim. And she says, poor me. And she actually has the nerve to say that she was run out of Hollywood. This person
with
and
she with $100 million in her pocket.
$450 million according to Forbes. That's a low estimate.
Yeah.
Because so now she's out there saying, I was run out of Hollywood. She's actually reportedly complaining about how hard it is for women in America with the double standards.
Look at Oprah, how hard it is for her.
Oh, she's got, like 10 houses, Ellen DeGeneres?
Michelle Obama, look how hard it is for women in America. They're hurting.
It's just woe is me. I was run out of Hollywood as she speaks from this grandiose stage on Netflix. Hello, you haven't been canceled if you are doing a Netflix special. She got $20 million for the one before this. I'm sure she's fine.
I'm sure she's fine.
She's doing more than fine. I mean, at least financially. But can you imagine the level of gaslighting she attempted to pull with that Netflix special? We can't play clips here since Netflix likes to claim videos left and right, but in a follow-up Q&A, Ellen said, I just hated the way the show ended. I loved that show so much, and I just hated that the last time people would see me is that way. So basically, her only real regret is that the mask slipped. Not the behavior, not the toxic environment, just the optics, which is the point Tim expanded on, saying this.
She's around for too long.
James
Fallon,
Corden.
all these people, walk away. You've been famous forever. Walk away. Like, eventually, everybody, they're just going to figure it out. Now, Fallon's on an apology tour because of the blackface. Like,
is he?
Well, he was. Like, he had to go around and apologize a million times for, like, they're going to find the thing if you don't go away. You gotta have a good run, and then when you have a good run, you step back and you go, okay, I'm still gonna do my thing, but like I'm not. I mean, there's only a few jobs in entertainment, right?
Right.
So I think a lot of the cancel culture shit is probably these motherfuckers want those jobs.
Ooh.
They're like, how long is this gonna be dancing? I can dance with Hillary Clinton. I could do the Charleston with Henry Kissinger, whatever the she does out there.
The Charleston, is that what it is?
She goes out there, do the Charleston. She's got war criminals. Her and Bush are jumping around. I mean,
That's right. She was buddies with Bush.
Exactly. The thing about reaching the top in Hollywood is that it doesn't happen overnight. Most of these celebrities spend years grinding their way up, jumping through hoops, and dealing with gatekeeper after gatekeeper. And once they finally make it, the cycle doesn't end. On top of that, many endure abuse and mistreatment throughout their careers because, let's face it, the people in charge aren't exactly known for their moral compass. History has shown that the higher you go in this industry, the more twisted the power dynamics can get. To wrap things up, we have Rob Schneider giving Ellen advice on how to carry out a proper comeback. And he made some valid points.
I know, but when you don't get over your grievances and you let it fester and resent and take it out on people, and then I think that's something that has to be. I mean, there really does have to be a coming to Jesus moment where you have to, I mean, literally or figuratively, where you can just get over this stuff and then start over and say, yeah, I was whether you want to use the C word or the B word, and admit that and move on. And I think in our culture, the great thing about America is that you really do have a tradition of forgiveness here. We have a country.
I agree with you. And forgiveness is great. I'm Catholic. It's just the double standard on it is very galling.
A perfect example of what Rob was getting at is Mel Gibson. For years, Gibson was essentially persona non grata in Hollywood due to his controversial comments and actions. But instead of playing the victim or blaming others, he owned up to his mistakes, issued public apologies, and gradually rebuilt his reputation. Today, he's not only back in the industry, but he's also working on high-profile projects. It shows that when someone genuinely takes responsibility, people are more likely to forgive and move on. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the story, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.